Harper Audio presents The Chill of Night by James Hayman, performed by Stephen Mendel. Chapter 1. Portland, Maine, Friday, December 23rd. Had number 10 Monument Square been set among the skyscrapers of New York or even Boston, no one would have noticed it. In a town like Portland, it stood as one of the defining features of the skyline. 12 stories of reddish-brown granite with black windows set between vertical piers, number 10 towered arrogantly over the east side of the square, a big player in a small town. At its top, large white letters proclaimed to anyone who cared to look that the building was the headquarters of Palmer Milliken, the city's largest and most prestigious law firm. It was also, according to Palmer Milliken's partners, one of the best anywhere in New England, including, they insisted, Boston. The firm's 192 lawyers plus appropriate support staff occupied all but 2 of the building's 12 floors. At 7:42 in the evening on the Friday before the long Christmas weekend, a young woman stood at the window of her modest office on the 7th floor gazing down at the activity in the square. Elaine Elizabeth Goff, Lainie to those who knew her well, was one of Palmer Milliken's senior associate attorneys. She'd already finished her work reviewing terms of a pending merger agreement between 2 small Maine banks. She'd pored over the documents half a dozen times, made a few changes, and sent in her recommendations an hour ago. Now she was ready to begin her winter vacation, a 2-week jaunt away from the bone-numbing cold of Portland to the small, elegant Bacuba Spa and Resort on the southwest side of Aruba. Only 2 last things remained: a FedEx envelope on her desk that needed to go out tonight, and a phone call that should have come 12 minutes ago. Its lateness was making her edgy. 6 years out of Cornell law, Lainie was still in her 20s, though, as she recently and frequently began reminding herself, just barely. But even as the dreaded 30th approached, she took pride in her conviction that she, Lainie Goff, the scholarship kid from Rockland, Maine, was about to become one of the youngest partners in Palmer Milliken's 57-year history. The offer, though not certain, was now so close she could almost taste it. She hoped word of the lucrative partnership would come tonight with the call she was waiting for. If only the damned phone would ring. She'd planned her life around that happening, begun spending money she didn't have. The $500 Jimmy Choo shoes that were a torture to wear. The gleaming $40,000 BMW 325i convertible waiting in the garage downstairs. Not the bright red she really wanted, but the platinum bronze metallic she thought more lawyerly. And now the expensive vacation on Aruba, all that money ponied up in anticipation of greater rewards lying just around the corner. It wasn't that Lainie was such an exceptional lawyer. Her intellectual and legal skills, while formidable, ranked her no higher than half a dozen others among Palmer Milliken's ambitious pack of associates. But in the race for the top, Lainie enjoyed a key advantage not shared by any of her eager competitors. She was not only an able lawyer, she was also an exceptionally beautiful woman, with shoulder-length dark hair, a slim athletic figure, and penetrating blue eyes that most people, but men in particular, found impossible to forget. And she was sleeping with her boss. Lainie glanced at the old-fashioned electric sign atop the time and temperature building. 7:46, 4 minutes since the last time she looked. The temperature was 14 degrees, down 5 in the last hour. The cold that had gripped the city for the better part of the past 4 weeks was showing no signs of letting up. It was a good time to be taking off for the sunshine, a good time to celebrate. Or would be if only Hank would get off his ass and call. Henry C. Hank Ogden, managing partner in charge of Palmer Milliken's lucrative M&A practice. Her mentor, her boss, her lover. Elegant, rich, 53 years old, and very, very married. Hank told her he'd call at 7:30. She didn't know why the call was late, but she didn't like.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?